Hello everyone, happy Thursday. I'm like a lot of you trying to figure out this whole thing with the Colorado um, taking 45 off the ballot, which they, for a while there, it sounded like they weren't going to do. As you know, the first thing they said was, okay, he uh, is an insurrectionist, but under other qualifications, he cannot be taken off the ballot. Probably the whole thing about, is he an officer? So I just spent some time. And legal scholars are not completely agreed on this point. But I would think the most relevant point that I read about is 45, an officer, is that because he's commander-in-chief, executor of the military. And as such, that makes him an officer. And he did misuse his powers on January 6th, that day, by misusing the military, the armed forces, the security, what have you, and if we find out the panic buttons, were taken off and disabled, and not calling in officers in the army and military, the National Guard, etc., to stop an armed insurrection and yes, they were armed, from trying to overthrow the government. So he has executive powers as an officer, the commander-in-chief of the military, armed forces, etc., National Guard. So I think that's where it lies. And of course, there's different amendments to the 14th Amendment that could be, legal scholars are back and forth on this. But as I was listening to different people talk about it, like George Conway and others, who seem very firm that yes, he is considered an officer and yes, should be taken off the ballot. They were also talking about the other qualifications where many people who try to be or are nominated by others to be on ballots in different states are rejected because of little things like they're not 35 and older, or they're naturalized citizens but not a natural born citizen. And so a lot of people are rejected. This is pretty common to deny someone from being put on a presidential ballot. Just not high profile like 45. But as I was listening to that, I was thinking, oh, that's why 45 and others did the birther thing with Obama, because during his second term, running for office, the second term, isn't that when they ramped it up and tried to do this whole thing, oh, you weren't born in America, you're Kenyan, and yada, yada, yada. Even though he had the birth certificate, he's born in Hawaii. His mother was from Kansas. I know this because I live here, and his ancestors are buried just up the road from me, celebrated war heroes. So yeah, but that's why they kept trying to get this birth certificate false birth certificate thing going, that Obama was not a natural born citizen, because they were trying to keep him. They were going to do to him what's happening to 45 right now. So it is karmic justice that is happening to 45. He's feeling right now what he tried to do to Obama illegally and wrongly and falsely, because Obama was and always will be a natural born citizen of the United States. Anyway, so I thought I was like, oh, that's why they did that. It wasn't just to make Obama look bad. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm sure everyone else knows this, but yeah, they were trying to get him kicked off the ballot that second time. So yeah. So the question is, will the Supreme Court agree with Colorado? I believe yes, because I believe when they get down to it, they're going to have to agree. Now, the problem is 45 wants them to delay, and well, let's delay that for a while. Delay it till December 2024, and then we can decide. Because he knows the second that the Supreme Court says, yeah, you can do this, take him off the ballot. It's okay. It qualifies to take him off the ballot. Then every other state could do it. Every other state in America could do this too. And you don't think they will? I think that they will. I think that first Arizona will do it, Minnesota, or Michigan will do it, and others. Michigan and Arizona will be the first, and then California and New York will take him off their ballots. Say, oh, well, they'll just literally copy paste what Colorado did and then do it for their state. Now, if I was a state that he's rallied in and not paid any of the, he rallies and he has rallies, and he doesn't pay for security or the venue or etc. and unpaid bills. If I was them, I would be like, heck yeah, let's take him off the ballot, because we don't want to go through the next 11 months of him coming around here with the rallies and these vile insurrectionists coming and all this trouble. Let's just stop it now. Let's just stop this now. Now, all the MAGA people and the 45 people are all like, yeah, I'm still calling 45. Are like, oh, this is election interference. Taking him off the ballot is too easy. This is clearly you're just trying to stop him from running for president. Well, yeah, we're trying to stop an insurrectionist from running for president again. Yeah, we are. Yep. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't we? And he's earned this. He deserves it. Again, he did the crime, and this is what's happening. And I think my battery's going to run out. So I wanted to say, before I go, that my brain's still running here. I feel like when I do this, I feel like I'm channeling because it slows down and I'm trying to get the information. So I think that, yes, the Supreme Court will uphold Colorado's decision, and then it's just going to be a snowball to other states. Or they won't. They won't. But you know what? It's not just, but I think very strongly they will uphold Colorado's decision, and it'll go state by state, and he'll just be taken off the ballot, and he's not going to be able to run. And that's when he's going to start to say, okay, my next plan is just to leave America. Because being president again, king to him, what is his plan to get out of all this legal woes? Okay, so and if they don't, here's the thing. Let's say the Supreme Court says, yeah, you know, he's not an officer, so therefore he cannot be taken off the ballot. Well, then no one else can do it, and yeah, he'll be on all the ballots, yada yada. But all these legal, I mean, he's a rapist, and I have to say for entertainment purposes only, but the New York judge said, yeah, he's, for all other purposes, he's a rapist. I know we couldn't call him that exact word, but that's what he is. So he's a rapist. He's been convicted. He's got unpaid fines in the courts. He's got the Trump the finances in New York, and the whole thing with the fake electors and the, trying to infiltrate voting machines, and the phone call, the Georgia phone call, all these things. Plus he defamed Ruby and Shamos too, so he might have a defamation. So he's got all these, he's a criminal, and he's under bond from several different courts across America. So he's not only an insurrectionist, he is a criminal, and he's under bond. So wouldn't that put him, isn't being a criminal a deterrent from being able to be put on a ballot anywhere? So that is something. So even if the Supreme Court says, yeah, okay, so he has to stay on the ballot, these other things should take him off, and probably will before November 2024. I honestly still don't know if he's going to be nominated. Doesn't the Republican Party have to nominate him? And I don't know. It's like you can sort of feel like this is really up to how much do we want to go through this again? Are we really willing to learn this lesson again? Or right now, can we manifest and believe in the power of positivity that we're done? We're done with this toxic relationship with 45, and now's the time to believe and manifest that this guy cannot be president again. Or do we want to learn the lesson again? Do we want to keep going through the drama? I really feel like we're at that point, and it's a pivot point. And with the new year, I do think a lot of things are going to change. A lot of these decisions are going to be made. Now, that's what I want to talk about. Before my battery dies, I wanted to talk about how the last time I made a video, how it was clear to me that 45 wants to delay the Supreme Court's decision on whether or not he has presidential immunity. You think he'd want them to say it now, but he doesn't, because he wants to delay it all the way to November 2024 and then have them say, oh, yeah, he had immunity. So that's what he wants to do, because he doesn't want any of the courts to be able to make any decisions yet. Also, he knows that if the Supreme Court says that he has presidential immunity, therefore he's free from all these charges for all his bad criminal activity, including insurrection, it'll give President Biden presidential immunity, and Biden can just do whatever he wants, including putting 45 in jail. He could do that. He's got immunity. He can do whatever he wants. It goes both ways. He can get rid of the Republican-based MAGA insurrectionists in Supreme Court. He can do that right now or in January. So 45 knows that, and he's like, oh, delayed. So he actually asked, please, on his knees to the Supreme Court, please delay this. And then I saw Jack Smith this morning was like, no. He reiterated, no, you got to do this right now. You have to do this right now. And also, the American public, the voters, we deserve to know right now, before we have to vote for this guy and go through another. We need to know right now. And so what was I going to say? That was the other thing, the last thing I'll say. These people, are Republicans, basically, who are like, oh, well, leave it up to the voters. I can't believe this is so un-American. That's too easy. Taking them off the ballot is too easy. Let the voters decide. They said that last time. And what happened last time? We decided at the polls. And what happened? They tried to get rid of our vote. For entertainment purposes only. Look at Carrie Lake. She's a prime example of this. Deny, 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 deny. Appeal, appeal, lie, lie, propaganda. They stole my, my win from me by illegal votes and, fake whatever. They stole my votes. They stole my votes because we didn't vote for you, so therefore we stole your vote. That's what they do. We vote, we speak through our vote, which is how it's always been, right? And then they steal that from us and call us liars and put us through hell. And God forbid that they win through some legal loophole, and then our votes are tossed out. Oh, your signature doesn't look right. Oh, I have a camera shot of you putting in, all this stuff that they try to do to, I'm sorry, but cheat for entertainment purposes only, and make us look like we're frauds, even though we voted legally. And I remember voting legally. Remember signing the envelope and going and putting it in the ballot box, and lines of cars doing the same thing on that day with the mail-in voting. Lines and lines of cars. Biden won. And yeah, decide at the ballot, let the voters decide. We've been through this. And he had a friggin' insurrection. And then he had the perfect phone call in Georgia that not perfect. And then and the fake electors and all this. No. Let's do this. Let's let the Constitution decide, because we already tried, and we're dealing with an insurrectionist. So yeah, I think that it stands clear that it's not up to the voters. Don't put this on our backs again. We did that. That's like saying, there's a hole in the road. And so instead of fixing it, there's a clear hole in the road. Instead of fixing it, you guys just drive around it and just live with it, and it'll fix itself. No, we could keep driving over it and wearing it down, or it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and a bigger hole. There's going to be a big sinkhole, and then cars are going to fall in it. No, fix the hole. Your job is to fix the street, the city, the tax money, and all of that. Your job's to fix the hole. Trump is the big hole in our government, and the Constitution is there to say the hole's going to be fixed. you don't have to worry about it. The Constitution stands alone. It's the decider. It does its job. It already said an insurrectionist cannot run for president. And I think that the Supreme Court will have to follow that guideline. But you never know. You never know. But other things are going to take him down, and it's his own doing. So I just wanted to make a video about that. And yeah, the biggest thing I got was that that's exactly what they tried to do to Obama. It didn't work because they were lying. Obama is a natural born citizen. And now that karmic justice is coming back to 45, it's coming back. This is revenge from the universe for what he tried to do to Obama. So anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye.